claim they changed the symptoms from polio to meningitis. I mean, this is just, this is how corruption is, and I don't know what one does about that much corruption. But all I have to say that to those that are corrupt, one word, karma. Jesus said it quite aptly too, you reap what you sow. So if you as a soul knew that when you hurt someone else, you're going to get it right back, but maybe even a little worse, you're not going to hurt somebody because you're going to have to experience it. You experience everything you create, no matter what it is. You experience it. You can't get out of it. That's why, that's also some of the secrets of how you get out of creation, is you quit creating. Don't care about anything. Just live in the moment. Enjoy the moment. Everything will be there for you. You'll be surprised. If you learn to live in the now and you're walking down and you need something, it's right there. I was fighting the IRS. I needed a good constitutional attorney. Where do I get one? And one walked right in my office and said, I need your help. I said, I need yours. So that was, that's how God works. I mean, it's just great. But when we push too hard, the door doesn't want to open. I learned this a long time ago. Don't open any doors that pushing too hard to open. Once you do, you find out, oh, now I know why it was closed for me. I've learned that so many times. I've had my butt kicked so many times that way. So if the door doesn't open, I back off and start to go another way. Thank you. And you'll find that's the best way to live life. Pushing on a door that's real closed for a reason. Let me see here. Okay, so we started out with bronchitis, then it went to laryngitis. Remember, every time you suppress with antibiotics, the next experience is deeper. Simple cold and flu, sinus congestion, goes into bronchitis, goes into pneumonia, doesn't go in. It's just, when you suppress congestion, remember you're constantly creating congestion. And especially if you're eating the same way that's creating the congestion, like with the dairies and the things like that. So everything is going to get worse and worse and worse and worse, and it does. Or we could call them different diseases if we were not had our thinking hat on, right? After this, bronchitis, antibiotics at 9, 10, developed chronic obstructive bronchitis. Yeah, hello. Once at this age, he started to choke. Reanimation department during intravenous drip. His body started turning blue. Adrenaline shot to his head. During this third year, he felt his first symptoms of allergies. So the fingers are swelling, bleeding nose, bloom, 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 bloom. So he's got itching in a private part, endoscopy of the bowels, insurance abnormal, liver function is also normal. Why? By blood work. Gallbladder, polyp in his gallbladder. He's feeling weakness in his whole body. He has bulged up his nose about it. He has bunged up nose for almost a year, and occasionally after he walks, he had dark mucus in his mouth. Oh, black mucus in his mouth. That's not good. Cold and pleasant internal shudder occurs to him being outside in colder weather. Well, he probably has, big time suppression of thyroid, a lot of congestion. He's loaded, he's blocked up here. You have to decongest this young man. This young man, very lymphatics. I mean, this is all lymphatics, blah, 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 blah. And of course, the lymph system is a great culturing medium for anything. So really, you got to go after this young man. Or he's young, he's 25 years old now. He's got to work on his kidneys, his adrenal glands, start cleaning up the body as you see this here on the YouTube. We've laid out these protocols for you, and that's what I would do. Go right down, review some of these protocols, because a protocol for someone with cancer is the same protocol with some, basically. I mean, when you get into neurological and get into things, yeah, we use different herbal formulas to pick up these different tissues that we need to work on and make them healthy. But as a rule, we're going to detox the body the same way. We will watch and see whether people can tolerate that a level of aggressiveness. If not, we can back up, no problem. If we need to go faster, we can even go faster. But we like to start out gentle. That's why I use the first detox kit on people, just kind of a gentle one lymphatic, one kidney. Got to deworm people right off. Got to pick up the liver a little bit, which will also grab the pancreas and pick up the stomach and bowels there. Pick up the endocrine gland. If you look at that, that's a nice, really way to start a detox program. You deworm your people. You open up the liver, the pancreas a little bit. You work on the GI tract. You get the kidneys up. You get the endocrine glands moving. Then, after a couple of weeks, if they don't see any really worms or anything, if you see worms and stuff, repeat that kit. But then, honk on, 2 kidney formulas, 2 lymphatics, 1 capsule, and you're really now starting to pull in and dig and pull on that lymph system and on those GI tracts and in the kidneys. At the same time, you're powering up the endocrine glands. And so this is the only way I've ever found that you can truly find remedy, and at the end of it, true regeneration and genetic remembering of cells. That's the only true way I've ever seen that ever done. Other than that, I don't see anything going on that's outstanding to me. Hippocrates not outstanding, far from it. I don't see anything outstanding there. There are a few of you practitioners that are outstanding out there, absolutely. But you're working at these higher levels when you're outstanding out there. That's all I'm saying. I told him to eat raw as much as possible, fruits and greens, but low budget binds us down. And here in Lithuania, it's hard to get organic fruits. Well, you might not do organic there, dear ones. You just have to do whatever you can do. Keep the pesticides off of it, though. If you need a veggie wash and the like, the herbal teas would be good, absolutely, because it'll warm them up. The heal all tea or any detoxifying tea. And when you look at detoxifying teas, don't get these purgative herbs, you know, for the bowels and stuff. That's not true detox. Could you suggest some herbs? Well, you know, again, you're going after the kidneys. You're going after the lymphatic systems. Absolutely. If you need to go and get up into the lungs and bronchial trunk, I would use lungs number 2. We have a 3-lung tea. I'd definitely get on that one and start detoxing. If you can't get it over there quick, then you look up pleurisy, mullein, and fenugreek. Most people can get fenugreek world over. Maybe not pleurisy root, but things that decongest. You know, things that decongest, things that loosen up hardened sputum or mucus, things like that. Slippery elm, marshmallow, excellent. Comfrey's excellent. Comfrey leaf for the lungs and bronchial trunk. But remember, when you start this, the healing crisis, mucus in, mucus out. So you're going to see a lot of mucus coming out of this young man, both out of the nose and everywhere else. Good. That's just, you know, smell better, breathe better, hear better, taste better type of thing. Absolutely. Now, what we got here? A question for herself, a 22-year-old female. A few years ago, I was diagnosed with POTS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. Well, you know, whatever you want to call it that way. It's left ovary. Well, it just shows the left kidney is the one not filtering as good as the other one. My period became irregular. Don't come a few months during a year. Well, be thinking about the pituitary, dear one. I'd get on if it's me, I'd do the female reproductive formula. If that wasn't enough to get everybody started with the pituitary and everything, then I'd suggest you get a pituitary glandular. The endocrine gland formula will also pick up the pituitary a little bit. Has chaste tree, the same as female. Chaste tree is a great berry for the pituitary there. At the same time, with the cis, you're dealing in the lymphatic system. So that's telling me that your lymphatic system, if this is your brother or friend, let me see, the first case is my brother. So you're going to have similar genetics there, dear one. But I can tell you hands down, as we all observe these cases, you're going to see kidneys and adrenals and lymphatics. Next, kidneys, adrenals, lymphatics. Next, kidneys, adrenals, and lymphatics. And it's just going to, and GI tract. You're going to see these few core issues every single case. And so by working on those core issues, you're really going to be like pulling the plug. And as you begin that hydration and changing the anionic environment there, you're going to create this cationic environment where you're going to start seeing all this coagulation, all this dehydration. You're going to see it now becoming hydrated and fluids becoming more cationic. And so it's going to be good in that way. You just have to remember the cationic and anionic experiences and how magnetism exists and how opposites attract to find balance. This is all about homeostasis and blah, 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 blah. But you can pull your hair out in tracking all of that and following all that, and at the end of the carrot, how are you going to tell your client that when they don't want to know? They're hurting. They want to know how to get well. 2 years ago, my journey to health living began. Let's see, the raw food experience, love the melons, good deal, sweetheart. Once a week, cooked vegetables, nuts, not bad. Doctors didn't find reason for my irregular periods. Oh my God. Well, here's the problem. FSH is normal. That's follicle stimulating hormone out of the pituitary gland. The problem with that is blood work is very inaccurate. I'll show you. You pick up the pituitary, get on the female reproductive, pick up the pituitary, you're going to start your menses again. Other tests also are normal. That's why I never use blood work or saliva for steroid and hormone look, because, oh, FSH is good, but you're not having periods. You can see the same thing in TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, and the same thing in PTH, parathyroid stimulating hormone. You'll still see that the hormones show adequate, but at the same time you have hypoparathyroidism, thyroidism, ovarian syndromes like this. Then my periods disappeared. My skin is really dry, especially on hands. Of course, that's the lymphatic system dehydrating you. I bruise easy. Okay, now, no, that's not pituitary, sweetheart. Parathyroid. Bruise easy is the parathyroid and parathormone. That's how you utilize calcium. The calcitonin comes out of the thyroid. So just remember, this is skeletal and connective tissue. This is also rate of metabolism, heart rate. You know, there's a lot of things associated with thyroid and parathyroid in that way. But that's parathyroid. But the pituitary link here is obvious. The pituitary could be suppressing your parathyroid gland and your ovulation. So, I'm just here to say that the pituitary sounds much involved in this case. Wouldn't hurt to pop up the parathyroid to give yourself some calcium utilization quicker, but I would go after my parathyroid. If I was using a glandular on myself, I'd probably use pituitary cytotrophin maybe twice a day, or 3 times a day, maybe 3 times a day. At the same time, I'd pick up my female reproductive formula. Same time, I'm cooking into my adrenals, my kidneys, I'm moving my lymph, I'm going to get my skin, I'm going to scrub my skin, I'm going to get myself sweating, that sort of thing. She also has sulfur in her eyes. Yeah, I mean, it's just the nature of the beast there, honey. I mean, it's just a sad thing when you look at how we've done in our healthcare system. And I bite my tongue when I refer to allopathy to healthcare, because there's no such thing. How great is it to know true color of my eyes and to see it is changing? Good girl, honey. Good girl. Would it be better for me to only on fruit? Absolutely. If you can, fruit, berries, and melons. Absolutely. You got a wide variety of them, and you got a lot of food there. That's in detoxification. If you want to pick up a salad at night, okay. But if you want to dig deeper in detoxification, and we're talking about detoxification, then definitely the fruits and the berries and the melons. But simply there's no but. Thank you, Dr. Morse. You're a very, oh, thanks. I appreciate that, dear one. Milda from Lithuania. Thank you so much for that. A couple of weeks ago, the bowel seized up. Well, let's see what this one is. This one is a long one. Said my time's almost gone, so I'm going to look at this. Let me see here. This is Isabella. Hi, sweetheart. Not trying to ignore you, but quite a long post here. You're detoxifying, really lots of emotional releases happening too, spontaneous tears, joy. Yeah, that's a good emotional detox. It sounds like your adrenals are going to start working pretty good when you're done with this. And that's what you do, letting go of crap and stuff. Good girl. Man, you're kicking butt here. It's chemical, it's magnetic, it's energetic. Sound like you're a sweetheart, dear one. Let me see here. My question is staying on the detox. How hard is it on my body to have my ritual cup of coffee in the morning? This might be a good question for you guys. While juicing, you know, I use a splash of milk. No. Even the splash of milk is a no-no. That I will tell you. If you're going to do coffee, do 1 cup, okay, but really that's a stimulant, and if you need that stimulant, it just shows you haven't got your adrenals up yet, you haven't got these things on board. You know, some people I have to, you know, give them a cup of coffee or something like that. You're not overly sabotaging yours, but boy, I tell you, what your first meal does kind of sets you off for the day. I'd make my first thing that goes down my mouth a fruit meal. That's the first thing that goes down my mouth in the morning. If I got watermelon, I cut one this morning, okay, I guess. But that's the first thing that goes down my mouth. That starts the vibrational frequencies. That turns on the engine. That revs up the nervous system. That's high magnetic energy. Everything starts waking up. The lymph system starts moving. You start turning it on. As opposed to stimulants, which you're stimulating the liver. You're stimulating the pancreas. You're stimulating peristalsis.